What's up, you guys? It's JCARDENASART and happy National Superhero Day. Because of that, I'm going to be drawing a superhero. I was going to do somebody a little more common like Superman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, or something like that. But because Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is coming out next week, I decided to do one of those characters. And I was on the fence between Rocket or Groot because those are my favorite. I went with Groot because he's adorable. And as I was looking around for references, I came across a picture of the scene where Rocket is trying to tell Groot which button to press. And that scene is hilarious. So I got that scene. In the picture that I found, Rocket didn't look too good. So I cropped him out. I zoomed in onto Groot and I adjusted the settings on the picture. And then, yeah, I used that as a reference. So that's what I'm going to be drawing today. I'll be doing the drawing digitally. I'm going to be doing it on my tablet. Make sure you stay to the end of the video. I'm going to have detailed shots of the drawing. But yeah, let's get started. The very first thing I did was create a very quick, loose, rough sketch of Groot and the remote in front of him, mostly focusing on the area where the button is. Then a quick block in with a base color, brown for Groot, gray for the remotes. Afterwards, I begin with Groot and add some shadows and highlights. I tighten up the shapes and getting more detailed as I go. I continue this process throughout until I get to where I'd like it to be. Shrinking my brush size, I add more and more details, sharper edges, highlights, shadows, a variety of shades. It all gives the piece a bit more life. You don't want the same size brush strokes everywhere, you want to change it up. If you notice, the overall shape of Groot keeps changing because as I add in highlights and shadows and a little more details, I fix the form. It's not perfect right away. Blue for the background because, like I mentioned before, the best color to go with brown is blue. Groot's body was probably the toughest part about the drawing because since he's a tree, you kind of have to make it look like he is by adding these twists and turns and getting the right form so that it doesn't look like a mess. The remote was easy because I just had to make it look all robotic and metallic and all techy, so I was just quick with the brush strokes and made it look as shiny and cool as possible. The quick highlights and shadows that I applied on Groot, I do the same exact thing with the control except with grays, whites, and a little bit of black. Some red for the buttons, and to make it look like there's wire going around, I use a reddish brown with a little bit of orange and some reds. As I'm working on the remote, for example, I'll notice that it's getting a little darker and it pops out more compared to Groot, so then I'll go over to Groot and then I'll emphasize on any lights and darks, and that way there's not one specific area that's standing out more than the others unless I want it to be that way. This is why I work around the whole piece and I don't stick to any specific areas. Once I think it looks great, I check for any small details I can enhance, make sure it's perfect in my eyes. And if you can see here, I thought of making it into a sticker, but I felt like it could be so much more and so much nicer as a print. So I extended the canvas and I colored in the background more. I did keep the same rough sketchy brush strokes that I love, and I felt like taking the marks all the way close to the edge but just not quite filling in the whole page. The background looks really nice, but I felt like it was a bit too empty. So I searched up the quote of the scene because that's what makes it hilarious. I typed it up and I applied it to the background. I felt like this really brought the piece together, and it definitely gave me the okay to say this was finished. And once again, since I decided to extend, I have to go back in and check any minor details again and do any touch-ups and just make sure that it's all nice and neat. I hope you guys like it. Now it's time to make some prints. I loved this drawing so much. I had to. So I told you guys, man, the print was just going to be amazing. And look at that. It came out awesome. I love it. I am going to sign it for anybody that does want to get themselves a print. I'm going to have it on my website. So check that out, jcardenasart.com. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. There were certain parts that are a little darker than they should be, but it's the whole CMYK printing thing. I was very concerned because every time I try to make a print, I just never get the colors right. But this came out dope. I love it. If you guys did too, go get yourself a print. This is awesome. I'm definitely going to do a bunch more of these. This is pretty cool. This looks awesome. I'm framing this for sure. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Thank you guys for watching my video. I'll see you guys soon. By the way, Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely the best of the Marvel movies. You can fight me in the comments. See ya.